Hi, I'm Susan Swick. We're going to be talking with your children about the coronavirus without scaring them. The reason it matters that we're trying to not scare them is that's the whole reason to talk with them about it. A lot of us have worries, questions, and a lot of uncertainty. Your kids do too. How do we talk with them to try and help allay some of those worries or address the uncertainty? I'm going to talk about 4 things to keep in mind when you're talking with your children that'll help you move through these difficult conversations. The first thing to keep in mind is that you are the expert on your child. You know your child. Are they a talker or are they quiet? Are they a worrier or are they easygoing? If they're a talker, this is not a moment where they're going to suddenly clam up and stop talking. And you know how best to connect with them. With talkers, you can often just say, hey, what are your friends saying about when school's going to start? What are you wondering about with COVID-19 or the coronavirus? With children who are not talkers, you're going to have to check in a little more often. Sometimes you'll find you might have to be willing to accept nothing for an answer, or even look at whatever website or news they're watching with them. Talk about it next to them instead of staring them in the eye. It's important, though, to say, what's got you worried? What have you heard about this? What have you read about this? What are you wondering or thinking about this? Because for both talkers and kids who are quiet, for worriers and the easygoing, it's critical that you remind them that if they hear or overhear, see or wonder something that gets them worried, they should not worry alone. They should come to you, and together you'll figure it out. Now, while you're an expert on your children, don't assume you know what they're worried about. That's principle 2. Don't make any assumptions. So if you get them talking, just keep them talking. Be curious. Don't jump to trying to offer them a solution or an answer until you're sure you understand what they're actually worried about. Are they worried about their own health? Are they worried about what might happen to you or to a grandparent? Are they really worried about their high school graduation or about their prom or about their SATs? Really be open and curious. Let them tell you the whole story before you move into topic 3, which is remembering you do not have to have the answers to get them talking about what they're worried about or what their questions are. Right now, a lot of us don't have any of the answers, but as you're figuring out what their worries are together, you can look for some facts and think with them, where are they getting their information from, and where could the 2 of you check together to try and find out some answers to their questions or their worries. Which brings us to principle 4, which is after you've talked about some facts, always be ready to also offer some appropriate reassurance. Because some of these facts come with a caveat or an asterisk, or if we're not sure, or it may change, or it could be more serious. And being able to then couch it with this idea of, this is why I think grandma is going to be okay, or why you're going to be okay, or how we're going to handle it even if you don't get to take the SAT this summer. Right? Appropriate reassurance is often the critical piece, and it means so much coming from you after you've been through the whole process of hearing about their concerns and questions. Now, 3 things to keep in mind. Don't be surprised if you have to do it all again tomorrow. For our littlest kids, each day is like a year. It's like a very long time. So when they wake up on Thursday, they may feel like, wait, is this still happening? And have brand new questions or the exact same questions again. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You did it just right. You just have to be ready to go through it over and over again with our younger kids. And don't be surprised by indifference. Even though you may ask, are you worried? Are you concerned? Are you upset? What have you heard? Some of our kids, particularly some of our teenagers, may be thinking about how the situation is affecting them, but not be especially worried about health issues, about the economy, about the things that may be really worrying the adults in the family. So don't be surprised if they're really interested in going back and chatting with their friends on Instagram. You're not doing anything wrong if they're a little bit indifferent. And lastly, possibly most importantly, don't be surprised by strong emotions. Often the things that get us worried tap into some of our biggest fears, our biggest insecurities, maybe even some of our biggest hopes or our heartbreaks. So when you get your kids really talking about this, sometimes you'll be managing some pretty strong emotions with them. That means you're doing it just right. So keep talking with their kids, take care of yourself, and be kind. We'll get through this.